And I'm talking over 40 years now, and I'm still doing that consistently. Hello. Today we're going to talk about the power of habits. Yes, the power of habits. And so on. And I'm just going to define quickly what a habit is. We all know what a habit is, but I'm just going to try and put it in a way, the way I understand it, the way I've been thinking about it. And a habit is a behavior or an action or something that we do all the time, we do consistently, and so much so that it has become a part of us. It has become ingrained into us. It has become like the very fabric of our existence, and we do it even without thinking. It's kind of just naturally comes to us. That's a habit. And when I was thinking about this topic, I looked at it that I want to just say, the power of a good habit. But I thought of it that there are good habits and there are bad habits, and all of them are actually powerful. So it's not only the good habits that are powerful, but the bad habits are also powerful. So when you look at it, the bad habits are powerful on the reverse side. They are bad. I would like to just focus on the positive ones, but the point is, as I was thinking about it, I found out that we all have good habits and we have bad habits. And good habits and bad habits are all very, very powerful because they shape our behavior, they shape our destiny. So I would like us to focus on both because they both exist. And even though good habits are powerful, bad habits are powerful nonetheless. So these are the two kinds of habits I just want us to think about as we walk today. So I looked into my life and I found that I have a lot of definitely good habits and bad habits as well. So, and I know that some habits are just formed over time. Like I was looking at a particular habit that I have. I always lay my bed every morning. Some habits are just formed like that because you were made to do something consistently and they just kind of become part of you. I went to a boarding school in secondary school, and every morning we would be made to make our beds because they are coming to inspect. And if your bed is not well made, you are going to be punished. So because of that, I was laying my bed every day, and it kind of was ingrained in me and it became a habit. And up till now, I still do it. If I don't lay my bed, it will look as if somebody's coming to do inspection. I just have to lay my bed every morning. You see, so that habit, for example, was ingrained in me unconsciously, and it's with me till this day. So habits are very, very, very difficult to change when they are formed. So whether good or bad, so it's better to form the good one instead of having the bad one. And I'm talking over 40 years now, and I'm still doing that consistently. So I just want to look at it that even though there are some habits that are unconsciously formed like that, but there are some habits that we have to consciously form by ourselves. When we see that this thing, I need it, I need to form this habit. There are some habits that we need to form by ourselves, and there are some habits that we need to break consciously by ourselves. When we see that this habit is detrimental to my growth, we have to consciously break those habits. So I was looking at it, that how can we consciously form a habit? So it is possible to actually consciously form habits and consciously break them in order to help ourselves. So to form a habit, I think there are some tips. I just want to give us some tips that we can use to form a good habit if we want to, and if we are ready and we really, really want to, then we can. It's possible. So the number one thing is to start small. For example, I'm going to use this walk, for example, now. Like I'm doing 1 hour walk. If you want to form a habit of walking, for example, you don't have to start by doing 1 hour or 2 hours. You can start small. Even if it's 10 minutes a day, you can walk. If it's 20 minutes, start small and build it up like that, consistently like that. So starting small is a very good way of forming a good habit. Start small. If you want to form a new habit, start small, and then just get it going like that incrementally. Begin to increase whatever it is, the habit or the action that you want to form a habit around. Another thing is the consistency, of course. You start small and you are consistent. Continue to do it repeatedly until it becomes a part of you. So that's another tip. Another tip is to make sure that you enjoy it. For example, this walking, I'm using this walking as an example now. I enjoy it. That's why I've been able to be consistent up till now. So I'm doing it in such a way that I enjoy it. For example, I like to walk in the outdoors. If you want to walk, for example, and you don't like the outdoors, you can walk on your treadmill, right? You can walk on your treadmill in the house and maybe put on a movie or a documentary or something that you like watching, right? So you kind of make it in such a way that you enjoy it. If maybe you like listening to music on your walks, then you listen to music. So the activity is actually enjoyable, so you are able to continue it. Another way of forming good habits is to attach it to an already existing habit, right? For example, this walking that I'm talking about now, maybe you are dropping your daughter or your son in school every morning. You can decide that, okay, because that's already an existing habit that you would have to drop your daughter anyway if you have to. And you're like, okay, if I drop, because I know I used that trick one time when my children were young. I would drop them in school, and around their school I would walk for an hour because they had this kind of woods around their school then. So you can do that too. You can just drop your child, attach that activity, that habit you want to develop to an already existing habit or an already existing activity. Like maybe I would drop my child and then I will walk for 10 minutes around the block of their school before going home. Like that. You have formed the habit. Or maybe I would, while I'm brushing my teeth, which we do every morning, I want to believe that we do every morning. When I'm brushing my teeth, I'm going to listen to a passage of the Bible or a book of the Bible in on the Bible audio. So that way you form the habit because you are linking it to an already existing habit. You get it. So that's another way of forming a habit. And I believe that forming a habit is very important because it helps us to shape our character and to shape our lives. And on the flip side, we can also break a bad habit consciously. And I'm going to also talk about certain ways in which we can break that. The number one is to recognize that there is a problem, that we have this bad habit in the first place. Because I know that some of us, we don't want to face the bad habit or the truth to say we have a bad habit. For example, like maybe if you eat too much or you are binging too much on maybe junk food or something. I know some people that I've had the privilege of meeting. They will tell you, I don't eat. And in fact, I don't even eat. But then when you are with them, you see that they do eat. So it's not that they don't want to admit it, or I don't know, maybe they really sincerely do not know that they eat or that they don't eat healthy. But you have to recognize, you have to come face to face with that fact that, okay, this habit is bad. I eat too much, or I eat too much junk food, or I eat too much of unhealthy food, or my portions are too big, or whatever it is that is the habit that you are, trying to battle with. You need to recognize it. Recognize the habits, that is one, and then recognize the triggers, the things that are making you to engage in the habit, the triggers, the things that bring the habit to being, the things that make you to, that perpetuate you in that circle of habit. For example, let's continue with this example of junk food. For example, maybe it's when you are bored. That's the trigger that makes you to eat too much or eat junk food. Or maybe it's you are emotional, you are sad, or something. Just find recognize the trigger. After recognizing that you have a problem, recognize the trigger. That is the thing that is triggering that habit, and also recognize the consequences. Because, for example, still on this topic of junk food, you have to recognize and come to terms with the consequences that, okay, if I continue eating this junk food and I continue being unhealthy, this might lead to a detrimental effect on my health. So you recognize the consequences, the bad consequences that will come. So after recognizing those things, then you replace those things with other things. That habit, try and replace it with something else. Like with this healthy one that we're talking about now, you can replace the junk food with healthier alternatives. Yeah, today we are not talking about food and health and all, but I know you can always research into healthier alternatives. There is always an healthier alternative to whatever meal that you are eating, or any other action. For example, maybe you are eating, I don't want to give specifics because I don't want to go into that, but just replace. Find out what you can replace it with. Because if I go into that, this video will probably be too long. So you can also replace the activity with something healthier or better, or something that you will do in that period. For example, with this food we are talking about, maybe you are craving junk food and everything. You can decide to replace it with, and you are already full, you've already eaten. I mean, I'm not talking that you should starve yourself, but maybe in this kind of example now, you've already eaten but you're still craving junk food, and you know that this habit, I want to break it. You can replace it with maybe drinking water, for example. Or you can replace the activity, that time of eating, with, okay, let me take a walk, instead of sitting in the house and eating. So you've already kind of replaced it with that. And then the other thing you can also do is, apart from replacing it, is also to remove, right? Because if you remove yourself from that environment, you remove yourself from that whole scenario. So it's either you remove yourself from that environment, or you remove the environment from yourself. Either of the two. Okay, for example, in this kind of example now, you can remove yourself from the scenario by going out to walk. You already remove yourself from the environment. Or you can remove the food. Definitely you can remove all the unhealthy food from your pantry, right? That's remover. You have removed yourself from that scenario, that environment. Another way you can remove is maybe, of course you can't remove yourself from your house, but okay, fine. Like maybe if you are you always walk through like a restaurant or a fast food place where you know that once you walk past that place, you must eat that thing, or you must buy. Then don't walk through. That's like a kind of removal. Don't walk through that area. Don't drive through that area. Take another route. So you've removed yourself from that environment. So yeah, so that's that. And then the fourth one is refer. So refer yourself to a higher power. To get outside of yourself, refer yourself to something, an entity that's outside of you. For example, you can pray to God for strength. You are referring yourself to a higher power. Have an accountability partner that you can tell your goals, your desire to change the habit to a friend or your spouse or your children or whoever you feel that can, make you accountable. Or another example of referral is you can join like a group, a help group. There are groups, there are so many groups that you can join that can help you, in breaking a habit or so, or just any supportive group, a group of people that can support you. For example, if as we are doing these daily walks now, it's a group. We can support each other, help each other, you know, help each other and informing these habits of walking. So that's another way of doing it. So these are the ways in which we can break bad habits. And of course, I know you have so many other ways that you can share with us. Please, in the comment section, if you have any way in which in the past you have formed a new habit or any strategy you have used to break a bad habit, please let us know. We can all be helped. Please, me, I need it. Help us, right? So let's know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's know your thoughts. So breaking bad habits is going to go a long way in helping us this year in achieving our goals, and forming new habits is also going to help us a lot in achieving our goals this year. I just want to say, your habits are so powerful because your habits are going to be what will create your behavior. And your behavior is what is going to create your character. And your character is what is going to create your lifestyle. And your lifestyle is what is going to create your destiny. And your destiny is everything. It's your future and everything. So you just cannot afford bad habits to grind you down. And you cannot afford it. I cannot afford it either. So I would just encourage us, look into your life. Is there any habit that you feel that you need to change, that is weighing you down, that is not allowing you to move forward? This is the time to do it. This is the time to do it. And those good habits that you have, keep them on. Keep them going. Yeah. Yes, that's it. See you when I'm done. So we have like 68 minutes today. You can see I had to remove my jacket. It became so warm. I just want to conclude by saying, let's go out there and form those good habits, break those bad habits today, and yeah, and let's create a beautiful future for ourselves. I'll see you tomorrow.